This demo will show the mechanism of what we call scheme portal or institutional portal in the SVDE Entity Discovery Portal. In this case, we present the Stanford University Library scheme portal. The scheme portals are subdomains of their main entity discovery portal pertaining to a given tenant. In this case, we have the general tenant of ShareVDE that hosts data from all ShareVDE members institutions. So from here, you can access to the linked data entity representation built from the catalogs and datasets from all participating libraries. You can run searches and explore the entities and also explore some additional information concerning the ShareVDE environment. From here, a number of institutional portals have been created to provide dedicated access point to institutions that would like to have dedicated access to ShareVDE data and to their own data that have contributed to the creation of the linked data entities. Right now, we are navigating the Stanford institutional portal or scheme portal. We used to call we used to use both names. So the institutional portal for Stanford is branded with specific design elements and has a dedicated access point to the dedicated URL that is a subdomain of the general ShareVDE Union Catalog. This portal that you're looking at, both the general Union Catalog as well as the scheme portal, have been installed in a user acceptance testing environment, UAT environment, which is a pre-production environment that runs on the most advanced version of the software and includes a subset of data from member libraries. So this space does not include the full catalogs, but subsets for the purpose of enabling easier testing and specific explorations of the data that are created through the conversion from MARC to BibFrame. So the value of this scheme portal is to expose only the individual institution data as a dedicated access point for patrons and librarians, and also to integrate local services if desired. The added value is to have both access to the main database, including all the resources created with the data from the other ShareVDE member libraries, as well as to filter down, to narrow down the searches and the exploration by those that pertain only to Stanford in this case. So users or librarians can at the same time consume a rich variety of data from many institutions, as well as consult only their institutional data. It's worth reminding how the Discovery Portal has been conceived. That is, it's built first of all on ShareVDE members' feedback and researches among users and patrons. The user experience and user interface working group of the Share family has collected input for refinements and enhancements, both in the early stages of this work as well as after these portals, this discovery environment have been released. This design is intended to respond to both patrons and library staff requirements and expectations, and it reflects the component of the ShareVDE ontology data model infrastructure that is an extension of BibFrame. So it's a 4-layered ontology extension based on BibFrame plus the most abstract level of entity, which is called ShareVDE Opus, and is represented with the label of on the Discovery Portal original work. This design provides also an intuitive user experience which hides the complexity of the underlying data model and supports partner APIs for the interoperability with local library services. Also, as mentioned, it allows dedicated scheme portals, so customized subdomains, subportals dedicated to individual institutions. The goal of this design of this discovery portal infrastructure was to ensure smooth user experience and entity model interoperability. So the Chevy Opus was designed, modeled as the highest level of abstraction, and on the other hand, end users should understand easily what content and data are represented and the resources that embody it. We strived to present data typically used by machines in a way that benefits also humans. So the dedicated working group formed by member libraries opted not to render the expression layer on the discovery interface. While this data, the expression layer or the instance in a BibFrame language are represented in the publication layer of the discovery portal. Also, a compromise needed to be found to satisfy both professional and general purpose users. So language and labels of the discovery portal are not pure library language. The original work label on the portal stands for the SVDE Opus, which is equivalent mostly to the RDA work. Then the publication level that is displayed on the portal is equivalent mostly to the BibFrame instance, the RDA manifestation, and also aggregates attributes from the BibFrame work. So unauthenticated users will only see this publication layer. Instead, authenticated users that access also to jQuery entity editor will see the publication split into the instance and the BF work. All this modeling stems from the analysis by family members and UX designers. So we wanted to use labels that can be understood also by non-expert users. It's worth mentioning also that this version of the system has greatly improved the management of the data, the processing and elaboration of the records that feed the cluster knowledge base, that is the database underlying the whole infrastructure, as well as the presentation layer. Let's start with an example of a simple search where I can search for this term, which returns a number of results. This search is running on the whole database, so on the whole cluster knowledge base pertaining to this tenant. And then we will see how to narrow down the results in other examples to locate only the resources that pertain to Stanford. So this search results returns agents and original works as initial results. Then we can explore more. Now here you see the how the explanation APIs return some indication of other search results, highlighting why some results have been retrieved that pertain somehow to that search term. From here, we can start from the agent and explore the hierarchy of entities. So the agent page is a sort of summary of all the entities that are connected to this agent. Here is a representation of the original works that have been created by this author, of the publications that have been derived from the original work, and also of the original works about this agent. So where most likely the agent is a subject. The hierarchy between entities is clear on this page, and it's always retained in the navigation to support the users in the exploration of the entities and keep consistency with the entity model. Now we can see an original work from this author that has, in this case, one publication attached. This publication displays a number of information attached to it. So we can see that this resource is available at Stanford Library. The metadata for this resource can be downloaded in a number of MARC-based formats. RDF-based formats are being developed and will be available for download as well. This other option allows for unauthenticated users right now to copy the URI for this entity, while authenticated users will also see the options for editing the entity through jCricket. This breadcrumb shows the hierarchy of entities, as mentioned, and these other tabs show all the other information that are attached to this publication. So here we can see the copies of this publication that are available at Stanford. We can see other agents that are related to this publication, each one with their role. Filters can be applied, and also other data can be displayed if available. For example, I've clicked the also known as, and other parent forms for this organization are displayed. Subject tabs displays the subjects. We are going to see that again later. And also similar publications have been retrieved. So this is very useful to find the relationships between these publications and other publications that might have some connections to it. I can filter down and see if they are all held at Stanford or not. In this case, I can see that all 7 publications that we had before are all held at Stanford libraries. The data of this publication is also interesting because it's a digitized resource online. So all the reproduction notes are displayed, and all the information that can enrich the user search are displayed. We also have the indication of the table of content and other characteristics of this application. Also, the breadcrumb of showing the hierarchy of entities can be navigated, so we can go back to the original work if we want to go back in the previous step of the search, or again to the author page. Also here we have some information on this author that is retrieved from Wikipedia or Wikidata, and that can also be customized by language, meaning that the connection to wiki sources happens based on the language selected on the discovery portal. So right now I have selected French. So this agent entity shows the information coming from French wiki source. Other explorations can be done on this page. Of course, there are filters. In this case, filters that are connected to the original work level. We can display some further information. again also known as, for example, has been selected, while the publication tab has other types of filters based on the publication entity. Now we are going to see how this scheme portal works and how the way to filter down resources with the scope to find only the resources pertaining to Stanford has been designed dynamically in a way that users can decide to see resources that belong to all the libraries being part of this tenant or only of Stanford Library. So now I'm going to the advanced search and I'm searching for a term which returns result that I can filter filter down. By the way, we can see that compared to the previous version of the software, richer information are displayed in the search result that have been structured behind the scenes um, in the entity model. In this case, we see publication statement that has been introduced and in the model, and that can be created and edited through jQuery entity editor. So right now, if I use this this button, this filter, I can see if there are any of these publications that are held at Stanford libraries. There are none because these two publications do not pertain to Stanford, and the system gives me an alert informing me that no publications for Stanford are displayed here. I can run another search to find other other entities, which will give me a different result. So, for example, I can do a very generic search by this search term. This search will return many more results that again can be filtered by a number of filters. Also, this library filter can be applied. But if I want to see out of these 981 results, which ones come directly from Stanford, I can select this have that button, and the search results will show only the publications that come from Stanford. So this filter operates both on the search results as well as on the list of publications that are connected to an original work. To see what resources are actually held at Stanford, the mechanism supported by the scheme portal can be activated also from the list of publications that we can find under a given original work. Like in this case, we have this page presenting William Shakespeare and his original works, the works about Shakespeare, and the publications that are connected to the original works. In the publication list, again, I can find all the available filters, and I can narrow down this list to get only the publications that pertain to Stanford. And here on the publication page, we can see that this is actually a resource that is available only at Stanford. And I can also see the individual copies that the Stanford has available, and the item level entity can be displayed. So here we have the full hierarchy that we have explored. So from the agent to the original work to the publication to the item. We can see another example of filtering, of enabling the capabilities of this scheme portal. Back to the advanced search, I can search for another term and see if the results will return resource. So here my search returned 3 results, and I can try to filter down, and I see that one of them is a resource coming from Stanford. And indeed, I see here that the user can be redirected to Stanford OPAC, and that the mechanism of the scheme portal has worked correctly. So while the main entity discovery portal of a general tenant, so the one pertaining to the union catalog of SVDE, for example, shows the data of all the institutions feeding the tenant's class and knowledge base, the scheme portal gives the ability to filter only the data of the institution that the scheme portal has been designed for. To this aim, this help that button that we have used was added, allowing to filter publications by what is available at the current library. This is enabled on scheme portals at publication level, so at the level of the entity display, as well as in advanced search and in the original work entity page that lists the publication. Now we are seeing that the mechanism is activated at the advanced search level. Now it's worth saying a general note about the publication entity page. So as we said, unauthenticated users see both the work and the instant attributes at the publication level. This is important because it reflects how the publication page has been created. That is, it's an aggregation of instance and BF work data, as we said. Let's take this example on screen, showing 18 sermons preached by the late Reverend George Whitefield, AM, to show how the review of the publication page has been very important in terms of end user experience and also consistency in the treatment and representation of the data on the discovery layer. So this review of the publication page has been completed under the guidance of the user experience and user interface and the National Bibliographies working groups joined to work together on this task. As part of this effort, the group has shortened the current metadata list into a core set of metadata that is tailored according to the material type. So here we have the general information about the publication. Again, the publication statement. In this case, we have multiple entries for the publication statement. We have the block listing the contributors, and that can also direct to the pertaining tab on the page. So here I can see the list of contributors and the focus on the full list on the related agents tab. And also, I have some core metadata. Right now, the group is currently refining the result of this work. So you can see that any additional metadata that is not part of the core set is accessible via a show more option, which expands the information in an accordion style display. Here you have much more data that can be expanded. But the working groups is refining this work, reviewing the material types that are displayed on the portal to ensure that the core first 5 metadata that were identified as of value to the end user applies with the available data in the backend, and that is a good fit for each material type. Other optimizations that have been done to the publication page were done at the level of the actions that a user can make. So this download button has been introduced to separate the ability to download the metadata of this page in a number of formats. As we said, right now, MARC-based formats are available, RDF, linked database formats are coming, and other options that the user has. Another optimization was done to the how the data is aggregated and presented specifically to facilitate the user experience and aggregate the data in a consistent way. We have concatenated extent, other physical details, dimensions, and accompanying material under a single label called physical description. Other interesting aspects of the Discovery portal from the outset, but also enhanced over time to ensure full consistency, is that all the information that can be navigated are actually clickable and the user can be redirected to it. For example, here we have the publisher that we can link to. In this publication statement, these other entities are clickable and can be linked. And anywhere else in the portal where we have the options to do that, we can browse and be connected to the other entities. So the goal here is to enable user a rich navigation experience. Very interesting is also the tab dedicated to subjects. So here we see that this publication entity has this subject string and this concept that has been derived from the subject string. And most of all, here it's worth noting that the provenance of the data is always retained, meaning that this subject has been created with data that have been put together, aggregating records not only from Stanford, but also from University of Chicago and University of Toronto in this case. This means that the entity that is clustered originating from the library MARC records can take the meaningful pieces of information from all the records that contribute to its creation. And this is always retained across the Discovery portal and also in JCricket entity editing. Again, about subjects, here we have another example where we see that subject strings that are taken from our records have been divided into concepts. So concepts are isolated as individual pieces of information that can be connected to other entities related to that concept in the system. So here, for example, I can open the page dedicated to the concept Sino-Japanese War, which comes from the topic coming from the subject string, and in this other case, I can see that communism and China have been is a string that has been divided into more than one concept. that I can browse to find which other entities are connected to it. Right now in this subject page, I can see which works are connected to the communism and China concept. And here we have these other basic concept pages that will be enriched in future versions of the system. Finally, another interesting case that can be represented and that uh, gives evidence to the importance of clustering entities into a single representation, but at the same time retaining the connection to the individual library data is this example where you find that a resource is available at multiple institutions. So here we are on the publication page. As we said, we see the breadcrumb for this entity and all the hierarchy that connects it to the original work and the agent. And now here we see that there are copies of this publication available in more than one library. So in this case, I can see that there are copies not only at Stanford, but also in this case at Yale. And I can connect to both the OPAC of Stanford as well as to the OPAC of Yale. This case here is not specific to the scheme portal, but is also enabled at the level of the general, catalog portal of SVDE, but is again is interesting to see that the general mechanisms are always represented also on the individual scheme portals, which have as added value, as additional features, the ability to filter down the results by the institutions for which the scheme portal has been set up, and also to connect other services to it, other, for example, local libraries integration with APIs from the library or other services that can be triggered by the SVD entity discovery portal. Here again, we see that this publication shows the copies available, and I can go to the individual items from Stanford or Yale.